guys, we are back. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. As always, it is so great to see you here. And so, guys, here we are, Photography Talk, episode 42. You know all those rumors that Canon is artificially limiting the recording times in the R5 and the R6? Well, this week, Canon went on record saying that these are conspiracy theories. Now, we're going to discuss this story and other photography news here in a moment, but first, hey, I want to say thank you for tuning in today. Whether you are a return viewer or you are new to the channel, hey, I sincerely appreciate you dropping by. I'd also appreciate if you click that subscribe button or, again, at least consider it. Doing so is going to keep you up to date on the latest content that we push out. Plus, by subscribing, this is just one of those things that you need to do in order to enter one of our monthly giveaways. Look at it this way, it's a win-win if you ask me. So, again, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We'd love to have you part of this family. Now, getting on to this week's news. Starting things off with GoPro Hero9 specs. In last week's episode, we discussed the rumors surrounding the GoPro Hero9. Well, in the meantime, GoPro officially announced the Hero 9, so we can talk shop and a little bit about more of the actual specs of this thing. The biggest change is the 23.6 megapixel sensor that they crammed inside of this thing, and you're able to get 20 megapixel raw still images and record video up to 5K 30p. That's not bad considering how small this thing is. Now, as you can see on the front here, GoPro actually added a 1.4 inch screen so you can actually see what you're recording when you're in front of the camera. There's also a 2.27 inch rear screen, which is a little bit bigger than what was on the Hero 8. There's also a bigger, better battery as well, and this is supposed to get you about 30% longer life, which is not a small difference when you compare that to the GoPro Hero 8. With all these goodies, that means that the Hero 9 has a slightly larger body, which also means that a lot of the mods that you picked up for your Hero 8 is not gonna fit this thing. Other features include Hypersmooth 3.0 for even better stability, Time Warp 3.0 for time-lapse recording, digital lenses, voice control, live streaming, night lapse, and even in-camera automatic horizon leveling. Now actually, as you can see here, I have one, well actually I have a couple of these buggers sitting around, and of course I'm gonna be testing these things in the upcoming weeks, and I'm gonna share with you all about the features and what these things can and cannot do. So stay tuned for more on that. Now, Canon says it is not artificially limiting the R5 video recording. Now, one of the biggest talking points of the Canon R5 and the R6 since they released it is the possibility that Canon is setting the artificial limits with the overheating timer. Now, we've talked about this in the past and how some folks have been able to bypass that overheating timer without apparent negative effects to the camera itself. But Canon has now gone on the record saying that the notion that the timer is artificial is simply not true. A Canon representative said in a recent interview that the idea that the company is intentionally limited in recording is a conspiracy theory. In fact, this official stated that this is an accusation that we've seen which belongs on a conspiracy theory pile. It is simply not a sensible business idea, as users will more likely switch to a competitor system than buy a much more expensive camera to get certain features. Now, Canon did go on saying that the limits in the recording are a result of factors that govern what a camera can and cannot do. In particular, Canon noted that this is a cost-saving measure because making a camera that can, quote-unquote, do everything would require much more expensive components. I think it's a fair point, but it's also hard to overlook all the tests that have been done by photographers that have successfully bypassed the overheating timer. Sliding over to Nikon. Nikon new lenses are official. In another follow-up story that we discussed last week, Nikon officially announced two Z series lenses, the 50mm 1.2S and the 14-24mm 2.8S. Now, it's been a long time coming for these lenses. Up to this point, if you had a Z mount camera, there was really no super fast autofocus prime lenses. The 50mm 1.2 will certainly deliver on that front, but if you're waiting for one, you're going to have to wait, my friend, till December to get it. Nikon claims that this lens is the fastest and the most optically impressive prime lens with the ideal combination of speed, clarity, and sharpness. Now, as you'd expect with a lens that costs nearly $2,100, it has weather sealing, a customizable control ring, a OLED screen that shows things like focal length, aperture, depth of field, and a handy shortcut button. There are 17 elements in 15 groups, 9 diaphragm blades, and it has an 82mm front filter thread. Now all these features are packed in a body that is definitely not small. It measures 3.6 by 6 inches and it tips the scale at 2.4 pounds. Yeah, that's a big lens there. Now, meanwhile, the 14-24-2.8 completes the holy trinity of 2.8 Z mount lenses. Finally, Nikon described this lens as being the shortest and the lightest full-frame zoom lens of its kind, which is hard to believe since this lens just weighs 1.43 pounds and is 3.5 inches by 4.92 inches. Now, the front element on this lens is nearly flat, which makes using filters a breeze, but it takes a ginormous 112mm filters. Yeah, that's a beast of a filter. I remember when I had the 14-24 with the F mount, that had that big bulb that hung up on the front, and that required kind of a special lens adapter to be able to get on it. So I'm sure 112mm. Boy, you know what? It's funny. The 2870 f2 Canon that I have, I thought that was big with 95mm. 112, my friends, yeah, good luck with that one, but I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful lens. Now, anyway, this lens has 16 elements with 11 groups and has the same 9-blade diaphragm design as the 50mm. You also get the same shortcut button, control ring, and the weather sealing as I just spoke about in the 50mm. Now, the price tag for this bad boy is just under $2,400. Now, as a former Nikon shooter, it's nice to see glass coming to market for the Z-mount cameras because it's just an incredible camera. And I'm sure Nikon did a really fantastic job on these lenses. And I'm sure all you Nikon shooters out there are going to be excited to get your hands on one or both of these lenses. And speaking of Canon, rumor has it that Canon has 2 RF L series lenses on tap for 2021. Now, new rumors have surfaced about the possibility of 2 RF lenses coming to market next year. And details are a little scarce at this point, but the rumor mill is talking about 1 telephoto and 1 super telephoto lens being in the works by Canon. The telephoto option is thought to be the RF 250mm f2 IS USM, and the super telephoto option might be the RF 500mm 2.8 LIS USM. These no doubt are going to be some monstrous sized lenses, not just because of the focal length, but also because of the fast f2 and 2.8 apertures. Now, Canon rumors did note that the 250mm option seems a bit strange because many Canon shooters are using the EF 200 f2 with their EF RF adapter. Now, the EF lens is a fantastic piece of glass, so I'm not sure how many folks are going to be running out there to get the RF version unless they really want that extra 50mm reach. What do you think? Leave a comment below. No other details have been discussed yet, but we'll keep you updated as more rumors develop. With the week's headlines wrapped up, let's talk about our current giveaway. Here are the prizes that we have this time around. We have a ViewSonic VP3881 38-inch monitor. We have a ViewSonic VP3481 34-inch monitor. And of course, we have the oh so tasty year's worth of coffee from our friends over at F-Stop Coffee. And of course, the $100 Adorama gift card. Now, friend, to enter the giveaway, it's really simple. Step 1, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Step 2, leave a comment below. In fact, the more of our videos that you watch and leave a comment on, the more chances that you have to win. So, get watching some of our other videos and leave some other comments. And of course, step 3, register on PhotographyTalk and introduce yourself in the forum. Now, if you introduce yourself or register on the site and introduce yourself during one of the previous giveaways, you are still eligible to win. But as I keep saying over and over again, swing on by, say hello, we would love to see you. And friend, that is it. For complete details on how to register on PhotographyTalk and how to say hello in the forum, check the description below. Well, there you go, friend. PhotographyTalk episode 42 is in the bag. If you like this video, do me a favor. Do all that YouTube stuff that really does help out our channel. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and of course, tickle that bell so you're notified each time that we come out with a new video. All right, my friend, I'm going to jump on out here. You stay healthy and create your best shot.